Thank you for joining me today. Have you been looking for a welcome sign idea for your home, or how to make a farmhouse welcome sign? Or in my case, Karibu, which is the welcome in Swahili. If you haven't been looking, after you watch this, you will run to make your own because it makes your front porch, your front entrance, your front door, or your gate very welcoming and decorative. Part of your home decor. Keep watching. Once again, thank you for joining me. I'm Juliet Megwe, and on this channel I normally share with you my DIY home decor tips as well as my life hacks. If you stick to the end, apart from the welcome sign, I will share with you 2 other ways you can use this method to decorate your front porch or your entrance. Quite unique, very pretty. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and press the notification bell so that you don't miss my next video upload. So let's get right into making this welcome sign or this farmhouse welcome sign. As we're doing some spraying, we are outdoors, and so there'll be quite a bit of noise disruption. I'll try to keep them to minimum, at least when editing. All right, for this welcome sign, Karibu is Swahili for welcome. Farmhouse sign, we'll use a wooden piece like this. Selection of beads, we're using African beads, but you can use whatever type you'd like. We have some twine, scissors, and some sticks. These ones, as you'll see, we might use them for tapping in the beads. And we're using adhesive spray. And we're using a spray because it's easier for this, or it's what I prefer. You can pick whatever other type you'd like. And we're using the Mod Podge sealant, acrylic sealant. So let me show you how we are doing this. It's not complicated. This is just a normal rugged piece of wood, about 50 centimeters long, 6 centimeters wide, and 3 centimeters deep. All I have done is I wrote the word Karibu. We said it's the Swahili word for welcome. Karibu in here with a pencil, and then I just chiseled out. You can see, I just, so that there's some depth. You don't have to do this, and as I'll show you with one of the pieces later, you can just do the beadwork on top. But because I want this to be long lasting, I prefer to have them inside, especially to withstand the weather, because it's going to be outdoors. And with our selection of beads, you can see this one has all the colors, so depending on the theme you want, you can make your choice. And then I have some of the bigger ones that will be sort of like accent pieces on Karibu. All right, and so on the side here, you'll notice that I also carved out this part on the side. It goes all the way around, and I've done that because when we're tying up the sign, I wanted it not to slip so that it can last longer. But you also don't have to do this. You can, especially if it's just over the balcony or already on the porch and will not have to face rain and things like that, you can just tie it without making this indentation. So let's begin with the K. I'm just going to spray inside the K. Let's focus on the K so that you can see what I'm doing close up. I'm going to pick one of the bigger accent beads. Let's say like that gold long one. Let's say maybe put a blue one there, another blue one there, let's put a red there, and then let's add gold in there. And once that is done, that one wants to go in. Once that is done, then you come in and fill the rest of it with the mixture, the mixed beads. These are tinier, so they're easier to go into the different holes. So at this moment, try not to touch the glue because these beads will just stick to your fingers. And I don't think right now it even helps to have gloves because the glue will still stick to the fingers. The good thing with this glue, it takes about 10 minutes. It will allow you to reposition within 10 minutes. So in case you make a mistake, you can change, or in case you finish and you look, you're like, I don't like what I see, you can change. And if there are too many, don't worry, because we're going to try and shake off what is excess after we stick them down, and then we can also see the spaces. And maybe there's a spot that didn't even get the glue, then you have a chance to spray again. And I chose a wood piece because this is for my parents' home, and over the next weeks we'll be showcasing how to revamp and how to do DIYs in sort of a farmhouse. And that's why we're doing Karibu. And so because of the rustic farmhouse look, this wood piece is not treated. As you can see, it is raw. And so you can change if you wish. But for my case, because we needed it to be very, very farmhouse, that's why it is the way it is. After putting them in as neat as you can, using this stick to either position them, remove, like these places that need defining, like the corner. Let's see, for example, here there should be one more piece there. I can use this to slip it in. And then now we're going to put a layer of spray over it. Not too hard, in case there are any loose ones, so that they don't come out. And this spray adhesive is good because after this, all I'm going to do is wash my hands to peel off, or on the table, the same thing. So I'm not putting such a thick layer because we are going to put sealant on top. So I'm going to let that dry as I continue with the A. I don't want you to sleep here, I want you to go make your own. So let me finish off the Karibu all the way to the end and then get back to you. After putting all the beads on all the letters, this is how it looks. You can see it so clearly now because, as you can see with letter K, because it's dry, because the glue has dried, you can see the color clearly. But for these other ones that still have part of the glue spray foam not yet dry, you can't see it so clearly. But once you do, it will look like this, very, very bright. As we wait for it to dry, let's make a knot like this. Then we'll place this in, pull it out. Oh, as you noticed, the beads didn't come out even after hitting hard. That glue holds fast. Then take it round. That's it for how to hang it. There are many ways you could do it, but that's the way we'll do it. And then let me show you on the K, because the K is what we started with. I'm going to put the sealant. As you can see, the adhesive is holding the beads down pretty hard, so they're not even coming out when I do the sealant. And why we're doing the sealant is so that if it rains, they don't come out. I'll show you the ones I'm showing you after this. They have lasted 3 years with the sun and with rain, and they don't come out. Even when it falls down, they don't come, the beads don't come out. That's how it looks with the sealant. It's not dry yet, but when these others are dry, the glue foam is dry, I'll do the same. I'm not putting sealant everywhere because I want to just preserve this shabby farmhouse look, and then just make sure that this stays nice and brilliant against this color. So once it's fully dry, I will show you how it looks when we're actually using it. Oh, my Karibu sign. Mom and Dad will really like this, I hope. And the guests, I hope. After it was all dry, I noticed that because the wood is light and the beads are very bright, we couldn't see a clear contrast between the two, so you couldn't see the wording well. Look at this is how it looks. I therefore decided to just do a rough paint outline with white around the words so that they can be more visible or pop out from a distance. And I think if I had decided to do this, maybe each letter had one color, I wouldn't have needed to do this. But it really turned out pretty great with just a paint work around it, and then I just did another layer of sealant to seal even the paint work in, so that when it rains or under weather conditions or tough conditions, dust, the color doesn't change and that it doesn't start chipping. As you have seen, and as I've gone along, I hope you've realized that you can adapt this to your need. And remember, I'm showing you 2 other ways you can use this method. And this is how it turned out. Oh, it makes my small side gate very welcoming, as well as on this front door, quite colorful. It brings my African self into this home. And don't forget to subscribe and press the notification bell for my next video upload. And if you want to hang out with me, all my social media handles are in the description below. And if you make your own, take a photo, mention me and tag me on your Instagram at Juliet Megwe Inspires. And for the other methods, I have put my own twist of this at my front door to just add color and again bring my African self to this land. At the backyard, bring some vibrant color and tie in everything, as well as for my address, so when someone is coming here, they know they're at the right place. And you're at the right place. Thank you for being with me till the end. God bless you. Baraka Tele.